Hi, everybody. I'm Pierre Bouvard, Chief Insights Officer here at Cumulus Media in Westwood One. And what is the very latest on the state of American ad-supported audio listening?
The very best place to understand the state of American audio is Edison Research's share of ear study. It's been measuring American listening tastes for 7 years. It's published every quarter, and it surveys 4,000 Americans who complete a one-day diary on every conceivable possible form of audio, whether it's satellite radio, streaming, the cable music channels, radio, you name it, podcasting, they're covering it. So advertisers, understanding that half of all American audio consumption is to content that does not accept ads, is naturally more focused on understanding the ad-supported audio shares because these are the places that you can actually put ads in. So we're going to focus our analysis for today on ad-supported tuning. Now, one of the big questions that we often hear is, what has the pandemic done to audio listening? What kind of major shifts have occurred before, during, and after the pandemic? So here is a view to the left of your screen, Q1 2020, in the middle of your screen, Q1 2021, and to the right of your screen, the most recent quarter, Q1 2022. So the answer to the question is there really hasn't been any major shifts in American ad-supported audio tuning. AM/FM remains the dominant player with an ad-supported share in the mid-70s, the most recent being a 76 share. You go way down the ranker, you do see some slight shifts. You see ad-supported Pandora dropping, an 8 to a 6 share. You see podcast growing, a 7 to an 11 share. And besides that, ad-supported SiriusXM, which is their spoken word channels, pretty stagnant, a 3 or 4 share. Same thing for Spotify, very small ad-supported listening to Spotify. So basically a pretty consistent story before, during, and after the pandemic, and AM/FM is the dominant ad-supported audio player at a 76 share. Now let's break apart across the various demographics. Regardless of the demo, you can see that AM/FM has the dominant share, but notice podcasting, a 20 share among 1834s, a 16 share among 1849. So that has been growing. And what's remarkable is the share of podcasting is actually bigger than the combined share of ad-supported Spotify and Pandora. So clearly podcasting has made its presence known. Now, let's focus with the midterms coming up on registered voters and ad-supported audio. And what we see is among registered voters, the dominant share of ad-supported audio goes to AM/FM radio with a 75 share. Distantly, podcasts have a 12 share, and then very small shares for Pandora, SiriusXM, and Spotify. If we go across the party lines, we can see it's pretty consistent. AM/FM is in the mid-70s ad-supported share across the board. You do notice that podcasting has its greatest share, a 14 among Democrats, an 11 share among independents, and it drops off a little bit among Republicans. And after that, the shares are all pretty small. Let's take a look at the car. AM/FM radio share in the car is what? Well, it has been hovering in the upper 80s for the last 6 years. Very little change here. So in the most recent Q1 2022, AM/FM has an 89 share of ad-supported audio in the car. And basically it's moved around a little bit over the years, but it's very, very consistent. If you break apart the demographics, pretty boring story. AM/FM is the only platform you need if you want to reach Americans in the car with advertising. Even among 1834s, AM/FM has an 85 share, and it's very small after that. AM/FM among 1834s has a share that's 85 times bigger than Spotify. Now, Spotify has a lot of listening to its subscription service, but of course that doesn't accept advertising. Now, let's talk about duplication between platforms. How many Pandora listeners listen to AM/FM, or how many AM/FM listeners listen to Spotify? So what we're looking here is the day in the life of American 18 plus listeners. So to your left, here's AM/FM versus Pandora. The dark blue across the page are those that only listen to AM/FM. The light blue are folks that are duplicated. And then the gray are those that only listen to, let's say, Pandora, Spotify, or SiriusXM. So in a typical day in America, 88% of Americans only listen to AM/FM, never listen to Pandora. 7% listen both to AM/FM and Pandora. Only 5% only listen to Pandora in a day and never listen to AM/FM. So if you do a good AM/FM buy, you reach half of Pandora's audience for free. And you see the same pattern with Spotify. You see the same pattern with SiriusXM. The vast majority of Americans are only listening to AM/FM, never listening to Spotify or SiriusXM. Let's talk about streaming. How much total radio listening occurs over the air versus the stream? Well, it's been growing. In 2017, only 8% of American AM/FM time spent went to the stream. It's now 15%. So it's almost doubled over the last 6 years. 85% of the listening occurs to the over-the-air signal. Now, what's driving this? Well, smart speakers. About a third of American homes have a smart speaker. And when you look at ad-supported audio shares on the smart speaker, AM/FM dominates with a 43 share. So the key takeaways here, AM/FM radio shares have been pandemic proof. Before the pandemic, during and after, AM/FM shares are dominant in the mid 70s. Podcasting is on the move, surging up. Pandora continues its slow collapse. When you look at the key buying demos, 1834, 1849, podcasting looking good with 20 and 16 share respectively. AM/FM is leading, very small shares for everyone else. With the midterms coming up among registered voters, AM/FM has a massive 75 share of ad-supported audio among registered voters. And in the car, AM/FM share has been in the high 80s for the last 6 years. And most Americans, when you look at the duplication data, only listen to AM/FM, never listen to Pandora, Spotify, or SiriusXM. The share of streaming is on the move for AM/FM. It's now 15% of all AM/FM radio listening. And in the home, on the smart speaker, AM/FM is the dominant player, a 43 share with smart speaker ad-supported audio. Each and every week, we publish a new audio insight here at the Audio Active Group. Our group consults with national brands and marketers, offering audio creative best practices, media planning, strategic allocation within audio, and measurement, where we will measure the impact of the entire audio investment. Each week, we publish a new audio case study or insight. It can be found on our websites at cumulusmedia.com or westwood1.com. You can also, when you're there, sign up to get the weekly audio insight for free in your email. Thanks so much for the opportunity to share with you the very latest on the state of American audio, courtesy of Edison's Share of Ear. Thanks so much.